So I wanted to do another video about farmhouse distressing, and the reason is because the dimension on this dresser is going to give you a better idea of how I do the distressing. You can see I've already kind of started it here, but you're really going to be able to see because there's a lot of recessed and raised areas here. So it's going to give you a better idea of how I do it. So we're going to get started. First thing, I use a stain brush. And the reason is because it's stiffer and it's going to give me the look that I'm going for. And I just dipped it in the paint, and then I just I do this, and the reason is because I want paint on all of my bristles, but I don't want a lot of paint on my brush, and you're going to see why. So for starters, I painted this dresser with a flat white paint, and the reason that I used a flat paint instead of a satin or a semi-gloss is because it's going to grab the paint better. So here we go. I'm going to hit all of these raised areas first, and the reason is because that's where it would naturally wear. So I'm just going to tap them, and I always start light. Notice when I'm doing this, I'm going in from the corner toward the middle, and I'm going to do that all the way around, and then I'm going to work down like this when I'm doing these raised areas, and then when you swipe it like this, it's going to take away some of the brush look that you get sometimes, you know, just when you're painting with a paintbrush. It just happens. But here we go. And like I was saying, I start light because I can always add to it, but it's harder to take away. Now, if you decide that you're getting a look you don't like, just paint over it and start over. I've done it a bajillion times, and that's because it's just when you're learning, or even if you've done it for a long time, you know, like I have, you know, still there are times when I think maybe I got too heavy-handed, or, you know, maybe it's kind of going in a direction I don't like, and so I end up painting over stuff all the time. But see how now it's kind of just building. And now I'm going to do the decal in the middle, and truthfully, I have done all of the pieces in this furniture set already. I can tell you, here's another thing I want to point out, by the way. I use brushes instead of spraying. A lot of people spray the furniture, and check it out. You can see where the brush strokes are grabbing some paint, and it's really helping to give it that worn look. So now I'm going to move to the decal in the middle, and this actually is my favorite thing to do on this particular set of furniture, because check it out. It just really grabs the paint, and it just makes it look so cool. So those are my favorite things to do in this furniture set. And this is my last dresser. I'm a little bit bummed. I'm going to have to start looking around for another piece to work on. So see how it's just making it look naturally worn. And then after I do all of the corners and all of these raised areas, then I'll just kind of brush over just to add to the worn look. And like I said, you can go over it and add as you go. But I always advise to start light so you can always add to it. It's just easier. All right, I hope it's helped. Have a good time.